Hi, it's Frenchy. Welcome back on the Grown Up Throttle for part 5 of the project of restoration of the Honda Deauville. So all the panels have been put back. That went swimmingly, I have to say. It looks actually pretty good. And as you see, I am here putting the last touch, which is the front mudguard. It was completely broken. It was soldered. It was absolutely awful. So it was fixed, painted, lacquered, and as you see, I am putting it back. It was actually much more complicated than I thought it would be. I thought it would just go really easily, and it was a proper pain to align. There's actually no way to align properly the bolts and the openings in the mudguard. You have to do it by feel while the mudguard is being clipped on the forks. It's actually tricky. That was not fun. That was not fun. I had in effect to change all the bolts for brand new ones because the old bolts were just not willing to get back where they belong. So I changed everything and put brand new bolts. It also required a little touch-up of the fairing, where you can see now I am sanding down with 800 grit, then 1200 grit, then 2000, then 3000, just to make a touch, because there was quite a few scratches there, I think, when it fell again. So it's just a little bit of a touch-up so that it hides the misery of the fairing. As you can see, it actually worked pretty well. I mean, I'm really happy with how it came out. Remember, I'm not a mechanic and I'm definitely not a specialist in bodywork, but you can see it looks okay, especially with the little Honda badges that are stickered now on the panniers. Yeah, it looks actually pretty good. I mean, it was never intended to be like showroom condition, just so that it is okay-ish from 2 meters away. So time to go for a test ride. And I want to speak about what a test ride entails. It's not just about having your first joyride. It's actually not at all about having your first joyride. The whole point is to get a feel for how the bike runs when you're done. In that case, I have changed the spark plugs and the air filter. I have changed the sync of the carbs. So there are quite a few things that can change the feel of the bike, its responsiveness, its throttle responsiveness, and even how the clutch works, because I remember I took part of the oil out of the bike. There was too much of it. It went really well. The bike has plenty of torque, is responding really nicely. Throttle response is amazing. When you do a test ride like that, what you're trying to assess is if the bike has a consistent response over time. Like, how does it do in traffic? Does it tend to overheat? Does it tend to misfire when it's warm, which could indicate a bad coil, for instance? Does it tend to not accelerate as much, not to rev up as easily when it's warm and when it's cold? Is it really different? Is it not as expected? And this is where things are actually becoming interesting, because at that point I stopped to have a vape, and this is what happens. Immediately, as I'm going away, I'm thinking, just doesn't feel right. Look at that. Tell me what you think. Okay, at that point we need to rewind very fast to the moment where I stopped to have that vape. After coming out of the traffic, I stopped because the traffic was insane and it was a little bit stressful. So I just pulled on the side. Remember, I don't know the bike very well, and I decided to just breathe in, have a vape, and look at that. Yeah, that's me. I absolutely did that. From there, the bike worked absolutely beautifully, exactly as expected, exactly as it did on the way up there. The whole test ride was about 30 miles, 35 miles. There is absolutely zero complaint. The one thing that happened is, as some of you may remember, it's dropping a little bit of oil. It's very, very minor, but it's a little bit annoying and always a little bit concerning when you're losing oil. So I took the chance that I had the engine very cold. I stone cold and then completely warm after going in the traffic on the highway and everything, and look exactly at what was happening. And I pulled the documentation. I might display it on the screen. And I figured out that it is, as I suspected, the oil pressure relief valve, known as the pressure switch, that is failing. And when the oil is warm and a little bit less thick than when it is cold, the joint on that oil switch lets a few drips. So we need to change that part. It's not a big deal. But I will need to do that, and that will be the end of the recommissioning, because at that point everything is going to be working exactly as intended. I don't see anything else that really needs any sort of extra work, if you want. So yeah, here we are. We are seeing the end. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and the bike is almost 100% ready. In any case, it works absolutely beautifully. So there is that. Okay guys, that's it for today. More to come very soon, and in between, don't forget, on the road, behave like grown-ups. Stay safe. See you soon.